realism was running in his eyes here.
On YouTube, because it's the same in England, it's the same in fucking Wales, it's the same in Ireland, it's the same all over the fucking world. Pedophiles are running.
Stop the boats. If you don't know what boats by now, sir, I can't help you.
Next time we must tell you.
Sorry? What did you say?
He was gesticulating there.
That's his whole face and everything on that.
Did you get him?
Aye, I spoke to him earlier. Jim's noted him shouting, but he was on the earphone shouting. He wasn't shouting at us, he was talking in his things.
Yeah, I'm going to take my wee video walk round.
Can you come here and say about boats? If you don't think about boats, it is something.
So here we've got anti-racist just means anti-white. In the day we're flying where George's Cross for our English cousins. Secure our borders. And it's a white minority 2066. Diversity fatigue, had enough yet? SNP care home democide, COVID lies, COVID cover up. And then we've got the rampant line. Then we've got the Sheriff Haley people here giving us a bit of support. Have a look at that. Scots people must come first for social housing. Support farmers, boycott Arla. Migrants adored, pensioners ignored. Tricolour for our Irish cousins.
Don't forget the children ignored, Sheriff. Children are ignored.
Right.
We've
got
pedophiles in government, no,
and we've got the Ulster flag and the tricolour for what's happening in Ballymena. For what's happening in Ballymena, we're standing in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Ballymena and Cork. Stop the boats. Great replacement equals white genocide. Starmer, Facebook and Twitter, the Impaler. Starmer the Impaler. Free our political prisoners. A real saltire. Union flag. Welsh flag. Diversity is anti-white. Remigration. No to imperialism, no to immigration. Bothwell Bridge was built by white people. Lest we forget. Vote reform.
Sheriff McKenna versus the Hamilton cover-up voting system. Order in court.
Yourself, Mr. Wallace,
Yes, my lord.
I asked you in our last sitting to bring me evidence and details on the Hamilton by-election.
Yes,
Can you
Your
supply me
Lordship.
with that now, please?
Yes, Your Lordship. With your permission, if it pleases the court, I'd like to proceed.
Okay, carry on.
Well, my Lord Bollocks, the Hamilton by-election, it really was different because we had Labour HQ Wallace and the Hamilton constituency Labour Party were working very, very hard, my Lord, out of their hub. They were leaving in teams of 2, teams of 3, teams of 4 and teams of 5. And they really, really did hammer the chapping of the doors and all that. They had a very, very well organised campaign. It was like a national campaign and a local election. The final skirmish into the town centre further, and never mind the bollocks banners in our campaign, my liege, Scooby-Doo, the senator of the bollocks courts of justiciary, he took control of the intervention at Hamilton, my Lord Bollocks.
Very thanks to Mr. Dew.
I'll certainly pass that on, my Lord. They couldn't attend today, he ran away this morning. We entered into the town from the west, and at that time the silly Scottish Socialist Party and the Fire Brigade Union, my Lord, they were already set up with their table all out, petition all out, collecting, tan on
Oh, they're always collecting.
the money's always getting in, the rattle, yes. And they were standing at the top of the town. The Fire Brigade were giving out a leaflet to vote anybody but don't vote Reform. And then the Scottish Socialists were standing their candidate as well. The Communists attempted to use, my Lord, distraction techniques. Typical Communist distraction techniques. And what they'll do is they'll nominate Comrade A to come up and interrupt one of our colleagues tying up a banner by engaging them in conversation that's going nowhere.
Yes.
Right?
Conversation.
And all it was designed to do, my Lord Bollocks, was to slow us down, taking them into a pocket, my Lord. A typical communist interruption and disruption unit, I would put it down as. He was putting on the nice face, trying to slow us down and undermine the Bollocks banner deployment. However, my Lord, Colonel Scooby-Doo was in direct command of the Hamilton operation, and he ordered that we take them into a pocket with our radical banners and remind the colleagues that we were actually working to an itinerary. After all, the radical banners are our political artillery pieces, my Lord.
Yes. Right.
The Labour Party, one of them, a most horrible and obnoxious Labour Party hack, with a weird tone in his voice. He had a very weird tone in his voice, my Lord Bollocks. And he came up and he said to me, my Lord Bollocks, do you mind not filming me, please? And he's strutting about, my Lord. And I couldn't work out, there was something just not quite sitting right with me, my Lord, because it seemed to me that going by the way he was walking, my Lord, his piles were killing him.
Aye, piles.
The problem with the Duke of Argyll's, my Lord, I'll put it down to that. And this was the guy who actually phoned the police, Scotland.
So he did about his pipe.
Police Scotland.
Mr. Wallace or about?
No, he was complaining about the radical banners, my Lord.
All right.
He was claiming that Bothwell Bridge was built by white people was a conspiracy theory. He was saying that the Stop the Labour cover-up, protect our children, was nonsense and was a conspiracy theory.
No, I don't think it's a conspiracy.
And then he mentioned when we started talking to stop the votes banner, he just explained that away as being all mental stuff.
Oh, there's a lot of mental stuff going on. You yourself have been
Yes,
charged with being a racist in the press, is that correct?
Yes, my Lord.
What do you have to say about that?
I've never been a
My
racist.
experience of you is you've never been
Never
racist.
in my life.
at
Never
all.
once, my Lord Bollocks.
Never.
It's a load of bollocks article. I will come to that article at the end, my Lord.
I think
I've got more to get off my chest, my Lord, and ventilate about the Hamilton by-election. There's more. I mean, you can have a wee half if you want now, my Lord.
Okay, can I?
Yes, have a wee half. You're at the Bollocks court.
Have a wee toddy in yourself.
No bother, my Lord Bollocks. You enjoy your toddy. And anyway, my Lord, That was the guy that called the cops. Now, there was an Asian guy as well walking about, a smaller man, but well-rounded. He was well-rounded, my lord, and he was wearing some sort of ID. He could have been a security guard manager. And he was out observing everything, taking everything into stock. And we noticed the SNP had deployed their canvassers up to the area of the Labour Party hub. So this is where it was all happening. This is where all the cameras were. This is where these fake politicians can all jump about the cameras, pulling off their silly little stunts, doing their dying Hollywood starlet routine.
Did you happen to look into the computer voting, the online voting? Did you look into that for me? I'm sure I spoke to
Oh
you.
my lord, well what happened is we told the Procurator Fiscal that we needed this information for you, my lord, and Procurator Fiscal haven't got back to me, my lord.
Well, can you try and
It's
get
their
that
fault, it's
information
not mine.
for our next sitting, please? It's very important that we find out just exactly how many votes came from computers and how many votes in person.
I'll get that done right away, my lord.
Thank you,
Bollocks.
Steve.
Thank you, my lord. However, the police did turn up, my lord. And as soon as they turned up, the Labour Party pack was over at the police. And then we noticed people from the SNP over at the police and the Fire Brigades Union. And they were all pointing at our radical banners, my lord.
Well,
They were pointing at our radical banners and the police just stood there.
they're very informative.
And then
I can't
another
believe
two
they're
police
looking at-
constables showed up and they left our radical banners alone, my lord. The police didn't come over to engage with us at all.
No, well, that's good news. That's good news.
And our radical banners, my lord, bollocks, stood there silently screaming out the truth to Scotland through the Hamilton by-election.
Very good.
And the Uni Party, my lord, they were not pleased. They were absolutely not pleased. In fact, my lord, they were jumping up and down like Yosemite Sam. They were that angry.
Because of your banners?
Yes, my lord.
Just because of a few banners?
Yes, my lord. Yes. Yes. Yes, it is.
Bizarre. Bizarre, absolutely.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Now, the actual breakdown of the votes, my lord, indicates that Swinny the Swine had got it wrong all along. And because he had come out and said, oh, but it's a two-horse race between the SNP Internationalist Party,
I don't
the
think
silly SNP Internationalist Party, and the Reform Party.
I don't think they're horses. I think they're more mules.
And he had said it was because the Labour vote was collapsing, but I would suggest it was because the Conservative vote and the Labour vote were collapsing into the Reform.
Well, they're all
And
back.
if you have a look at the other candidates that stood, the Scottish Family Party didn't do too well after the lies that they told about the Never Mind the Bollocks campaign.
Oh.
People aren't listening to their pish, my lord.
Oh, well, they all talk pish. I think
Yes,
we
my
can
lord.
establish
Yeah,
that.
yes, my lord.
All
It's-
parties. All
yeah,
parties.
yes, my lord.
They
Yes.
don't represent the people, of course, Wallace. You
no,
understand
my
that,
lord,
don't
they
you?
don't. They don't.
I hope you're not videoing this because
Oh no, I
You can't-
don't
you
really
can't
get
inform
into
the public.
trouble for videoing like
you
this.
cannot inform the public about the massive corruption that they're pulling over their eyes.
Yes, my lord, but they don't want to tell them about how corrupt their courts are. We wouldn't be in a job, my lord, bollocks.
Well, this is the thing, you see, Wallace. That you would jeopardise your own job
Well,
if we let out the corruption.
We'll get the legal aid
And
applied for,
the
my
kid-
lord, yes.
Especially the kiddie fiddling, we've got to
Yes.
keep that quiet, you know. Understand?
Oh yes,
What-
you want to keep
keep
that
it
quiet
very
big
quiet.
time. So, Labour had to work really, really hard, my lord, to pull off that election. They really pulled out all the stops. The same for the SNP, can we say. But remember, it was all the hobbyists. It was all the hobbyists, and they absolutely did not like the fact that radical banners from the Never Mind the Bollocks campaign and the Never Mind the Bollocks Clydebank were actually in Hamilton, in the thick of it. In the thick of it. And we helped Reform to get more people to vote for them. Because by Lord, people were coming up to me and they were saying, oh, I'm definitely going to vote Reform now. I'm voting for Reform.
But they did get quite a number of votes.
Yeah, yeah. There's only 1,000 in it between them and Labour. And you've got SNP coming in saying,
How many people voted? total.
Well, there was a 42% turnout, my lord.
42%.
42% turnout, which isn't bad for a local election.
So what you're telling me is that in that by-election, less than half of the eligible voting public actually voted.
Yes, my lord, which considering, I mean, people are beginning to wake up now. The reforms on the road, my lord.
I think the real people waking up are those that are not voting. I think the 58% are in the majority.
You may have a point. I don't think there's an electoral path out of this one.
I don't.
However,
I think
for people who are wanting to try and get involved with party politics, we're suggesting that they go into reform and learn. Go into reform, and because it's the only vehicle, my lord, that's capable of breaking the Conservative Party, the Labour Party, or the Scottish National Party. I mean, we don't have to worry about the wee fringe parties because we know that they only exist so that one of the other uni party can get in. They're all united, my lord, in one, covering up the sexual abuse stuff.
So the logic behind
Yeah,
your
that
idea
too.
of asking
They're all
them to vote for
united. They're
reform
all united.
was to break the bank of oppression towards the people of the British Isles. Is that correct?
Yes, my lord, and they want to do it through mass immigration, my lord, and it will mean that we will be a hated racial minority here in Scotland. So that's the reason why we've got this bollocks for here, is because we've been putting these people up in trial, my lord, and you saw the casework that the people that we've put through here and tried in abstention. The thing about it is, my lord bollocks, Kera bollocks, the bollock shit. If it pleases the court, I'll suggest this will be a court with jurisdiction over the whole of the United Kingdom and Ireland, and we will be putting these people on trial. And you will be giving out sentences, my lord, sentences.
We do need to let the public start putting out the sentences on these people because, as you're aware, our profession, illegal profession, is chock full of child abuse.
Yes,
and
my lord.
Much other corruption that must be exposed.
Yes, my lord.
So we have to have the public take over all of these jobs from these criminal civil servants.
Start again, my lord.
You know that the people of this country are the true government, not these arseholes that they're putting in positions during elections. They're not the government. The people are the government, Mr. Wallace. I think you have to remind the people that
my
they
lord,
are
the right sentiments exactly when you mentioned about
it's time for people power to take over.
arseholes, my lord, was the term that the court used, arseholes. Can we have an arsehole bollocks fatwa warrant for Keir Starmer for being an arsehole, sir?
Yes, clerk, make sure the warrant's issued.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you very much.